Good morning and thank you from our own end. You can do well to tell us matter on this show. Before we continue, let me just take this. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who are really prepared.
I'm prepared, I think. I'm educated.
Oh, that's today. You never can tell how it will show up tomorrow.
And be accountable about everything. A nation needs to be because of lack of knowledge. But then we add this, and when they ask you, where is your evidence that you have acquired such? So I don't know how we're going to continue. Are we saying that if you go through this formal education, and then at the end of the day you don't have anything to present for it, and then some people that are supposed to be role models are not having that particular thing, like how far?
Wow, true. How far? Yeah, you can do well to send us your comment. As we said, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Today we are discussing, like said, now what is trending is issue of either missing certificate or I have attended some few and then discuss about it and then see the future of this country. Education is the final, but education is the bedrock. Certain qualification to some particular offices, if someone is vying for them of the land, give some particular rate, in the running of this country, and then the laws of the land says you have to. Today we're going to look at issue of certificate saga of Bola Tinubu
And his running mate. Kabir Masari.
Yes, and you remember we talked about when they picked Kabiru Masari. You remember so many people, were
going to sincerely apologize for that oversight from our side. It's actually just like our typical general election season. It is one of it, and then the flag bearer of the APC has had a series of issues about the missing certificate, and then yesterday his running mate also came out with his and said his own too is missing, and so people begin to ask a lot of questions. So what is going on? The candidate says his is missing, yours too is missing. Like, are we in a missing
missing competition
or something? And then this thing did not just start now. Based on history, we've seen a lot of issues like controversies about certificates. It didn't start from Tinubu.
Yes.
I remember when the present president started his campaign and all of that, there were issues of certificate as well, and he dragged for a long time till he finally brought out the YX certificate. I think that was the highest certificate he had at that time, or he has, aside the military setting that he went through. But then that was it. And then people began to ask, there are people that have more qualifications, more experiences and all of that, and they are not given the opportunity to rule. I think they have more insights to some of these things globally and all of that, and then they are not given the opportunity. And you are vying for this particular position, and then we still have the issue of certificate coming up. It happened in 2015, and now in 2022 we're having the same issue. And it's not even about the candidate alone. His running mate also is having that same issue. So
I think for the running mate to still come out and said his own certificate too is missing, that regenerates the whole agitation when it comes to the issue of the certificate. Tinubu's certificate saga did not start now. It started way back 1999. When he contested for the governorship election of Lagos State and he won under AD. Then he mentioned the same school. Let me just the school he said he attended. I remember then there was a 5-man panel
Yes.
in the House of Assembly then to investigate after him like winning, and then before everything, you will know, the whole issue went down because the five-man panel did not find him wanting with all the allegation of the certificate. So then you remember way back 1999, there's this saga of this member of House of Representatives. You remember his name, Salisu Buhari. You know, 49 days exactly when he became speaker, that is when he was impeached in the name of certificate forgery, when he said he went to the University of Toronto. So you see, people are beginning to see people occupying some sensitive position and still yet lie about certain things concerning themselves. You know, way back then, people don't really matter. They don't really care, rather, about someone's life. They think, okay, let him just go so far he won. Let him just finish his tenure. But you look at...
Because I think, like I said yesterday, people don't really did not really worry about it because they didn't have access to such information. Unlike now that we have the technology that gives us, once you call someone's name that is in the limelight, you just type the person's name and almost everything about your life is out there for people to know. So even if you don't put it yourself, people will put it. And then at the end of the day, you see yourself out there. And that's why the issue of certificate start coming up and down, and from one political season to another. And from that particular Salisu that you talked about, we have the issue of Abba, Christian Abba. He too had the issue of certificate, and he was sacked from the National Assembly because of that particular issue. And then we also have the issue of former Bayelsa deputy governor, who denied the allegation of forging certificates, but then he was sacked. He was governor-elect of Bayelsa State. That's Bayo Barakuma, this name. He said he didn't forge any certificate, but then he was sacked along the governor because they ran in the same ticket. So his allegations or the court ruling affected so both of them were removed from that particular office. We've seen a lot of those. I remember the issue of Dino that came out too about his certificate from Ahmadu Bello University. And at the end of the day, he was able to clear it out because he had there was a spillover, and then it was later cleared. And then the departments were not given the results, and the Senate had his own certificate while the department didn't have it. So all of that came, and then he was able to, at the end of the day, clear the whole issue. But for the issue of the present flag bearer of APC, I think that's his vice, that's the major issue right now that we are looking at. Are we going to let this slide and then have the next people coming to still bring about the issue of missing certificates? Because we've seen that the issue of the president has cleared or has given opportunity for these people to be able to come out with the same issue to talk about missing certificates. Are we going to, I just keep asking this question, are we going to continue like that?
Yeah, the answer is no. And I think Nigerians have to own up to their responsibility, you know, of asking questions of who lead them and how. Because if we allow some certain things to just lie and then nobody is talking about it, it becomes the norm. It becomes something that doesn't really matter. But if we are not saying that, yes, the issue of certificate, because there are some people that God have blessed them with some certain ability, capability, you know, it doesn't mean that necessarily you must get this A or B or C. But what we are saying, if you say that you have this, then show us. Because if you look at the issue of the primary and the secondary, you know, some people are saying he didn't even go to
The primary school.
the primary school. If you say these certificates are missing, what about the school? Who are your mates then? Because these are simple questions
Yes.
that yes, people
Like-
can just say, oh, this is my classmate, you know.
Yeah, of
during
course. I
primary
remember
school then.
my nursery classmates. I remember my primary school classmates. I can remember my secondary school. I remember my university classmates. So, like, if you say you have gone through this particular line of education, or you've gone through this particular school, even if there are some schools that you have gone through and they are not even existing now, there are
Yes,
so many
yes,
of them out
yes.
there. That's understood. But I should be able to come out to say, okay, I went to school with so person, and then that person will be, yes, you were my classmates. I think that's more reasonable than for you to even say you went to school and then you can't even call anybody's name to say this was my class, or they will ask, do you know this person from this school? And no, I can't remember anybody like that. Like, it's not realistic to me. It isn't. And then when you were even talking about this particular people, there are some people that they were homeschooled. I think if you went through that kind of education, you should be able to tell people that, okay, I was homeschooled and so I don't have it, than for you to say you have it and then at the end of the day you don't have anything to show for it. I think it's irresponsible.
Wow. And okay, now 2023 is here. It's around the corner, brother. And then by all indication, APC are still pushing that particular candidate and nobody is coming. The highest you hear is his aides, you know, trying to defend him here and there, saying this. But the question is that, what is the requirement by law? I think it's a vital question that we should ask. And then what is the position of INEC? Because we know these things are being provided during their own is it screening? You know, they do submit all of this form and then INEC is to verify and see, okay, are you up to date based on what the constitution required, you know, for you to occupy this particular office. I think it is very key. It is very important. Nigerians will begin to ask questions, and then let's get answers that yes will clear our doubt on certain things. Because you look at it now, people can just wake up and just say anything and just get away with it, and then you want to occupy the #1 seat. So what do you expect of someone that is down the grassroots? That means anything that is happening up there will just water down.
Yes.
And that is what we are saying.
It will become the normal thing that is obtainable.
Yeah. So what do you think now is the way out, and what Nigerians think we should do?
Talking about the Constitution, Section 137, subsection 1 of the Constitution states that a candidate may be disqualified for presenting a forged certificate to INEC. Then in his own case, and just like President Buhari, Mr. Tinubu has since 1999 not presented any certificate to the Electoral Commission swearing to an affidavit that they were all looted after he fled into exile. So the courts, let me just take this. The court appears to have drawn the line under the case of his alleged infraction of 1999, over which the late Mr. Fayemi had filed this suit. And then 6 years after he left office, someone in the name of Dominic Adegbola on June 4th, 2013, asked the Federal High Court to reopen Mr. Fayemi's suit and to compel the Inspector General of Police to investigate Mr. Tinubu for alleged forgery. So just like you have mentioned earlier, his issue did not just start today. Since 1999, he said he fled for exile during Sani Abacha's regime and all of that, and you know, And since then, you know that you are still in the line of this politics that okay, since I've done the governorship, he ruled Lagos State for the years that he ruled, and it was successful. They didn't go deep into all of that. I don't know the reason why they didn't, but then I feel he was supposed to clear up that issue so that now we won't even be talking about his certificate. You know, but then it's just so sad that this is still coming up from 1999. You can calculate the years, 23. And yes, this now is still coming up again. Like it's not really good of our country. Like it's not.
I just feel, you know, for these years, 23 years down the line, someone can have multiple certificates. You know, if you are to go for 4 years of degree and then divide by the numbers of years that we are talking about, 23 years from then. So I believe by now he would have just worked things out, knowing the ambition that he's having, you know, to be, you know, because he said it's his lifetime ambition for him to become the president. So the whole situation now lies on Nigerians to decide, you know. And then one thing that I know is that the law will take its course, because it is very, very important to really define what the law says concerning things like that. Because I remember during Buhari then, you know, the former speaker, you know, when the polity was overheated, you know, the guy just had to resign and just forget about everything, and he went back to school, you know. And now we are seeing some people are resigning on the ground of ill health, and then we are saying that yes, we are getting there. If people can, the people that are occupying some important public offices, you know, are saying, okay, I think it is time for me to resign because I feel I'm not doing well, or I feel my health is really drawing me back. That's a good news, because we hardly hear such things around here. But you will see people being accused of certain things that they cannot even defend, but they will go to court and then drag the whole issue and then finish their tenure and then not visit the whole issue again, and then it lies there. I think it's not healthy for our polity. It is not healthy for our polity.
It is not. And let me just say, the basic requirements stipulated by the 1999 Constitution for a Nigerian citizen to qualify for an electoral position is a school leaving certificate or its equivalent. So if you say you have that, then we should be able to see it, because, or if you didn't even go through it, I think you should be proud to say you didn't.
And you are this brilliant.
Yes, you should be proud to even own up to it. And so we just hope that the Constitution will take its course, just as it is. If you have it, bring it. Let's see the evidence that you have such. And if you don't have it, then you should own up to it. We've seen people that have resigned, just like you have said, because of issue of ill health, because of issue of certificate. You can come, as far as you're alive, there is always hope. So I think that is just the needful that should be done for anybody that is trying to get any kind of position like that. Even if in our normal working places there are provisions for such, if you say you have done it, okay, bring your credentials, let's see. So that's just how it should be done. Like, it's just the normal way, I feel. And we have just like Ademola Adeleke and the likes of them that were removed because of the issue of certificate. I think they should do the right thing. And then before we go, right, we have comments on Facebook from Andrew Kwana. He said, watching you from Otupo, Benue State. Thank you so much, Andrew, for your comment. And Mr. Solo?
Yes. What are you trying to say? We should round up?
Yes.
Because the way you are looking at me and you are smiling. Okay. Thank you for doing this with me today. And for the viewer, we are saying thank you for staying glued to your TV. Thank you for all those that sent their comment, and we really appreciate you. We pray that you keep watching Ekwa Television and keep telling us what you feel about our programming. And then, you know, without you, me and Lois will not be here. So thank you very much for your time. We sincerely appreciate. Remember that whatever you do today haunts you in the future. So do the right thing. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Sambo Solomon, and bye for now.